you have to remember, Luka pushed that Spurs team, I mean that Mavericks team to a competitive series against the Clippers, and he lost the second best player, Kristaps Porzingis, in half that series, and to close out that series.
Hmm.
They lost the starter midway through the series, not midway through the series, midway through the season. Uh, so like they just like the only starters that consistently played with Luka Doncic were like out and injured. So people were just stepping up, and this roster was basically just their bench players and Luka Doncic kind of. So for him to make a competitive series with the favorites to win the championship, like that's incredible. And I don't even need to talk about stats because Luka Doncic's stats are obviously better than Jimmy Butler's.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, but I understand if you put like defense and if you just weigh defense a lot more to put
Hmm.
Jimmy over Luka, because Luka is obviously not the greatest defender. But you really can't say he's a bad defender too, because on those switches and stuff, people weren't really attacking Luka Doncic. They're kind of just attacking him to try to get him into foul trouble, but they weren't really like dominating him as like a bad defender, like a Steph Curry would kind of get sought out for and dominated. So,
Or
man,
like
I don't know.
Jokic.
Yeah, Luka Doncic, he's the face of this league. He sells the most jerseys beside LeBron James. It is Giannis is definitely higher on this list for me and you, but it is Luka Doncic's league. He's a funner player to watch. We could do the stuff he could do, you know. We can't do
Mm.
dunks from the free throw line, which Giannis does, but we could try a step back three or we could try a floater, and that's why he will be much more interesting and people will buy his jerseys. You
Yep,
have one of his jerseys. Like
I do.
he's the face of this league. Like, and it's clear. Like next season or the season after that, he could be top three, top four.
What we saw in the playoffs this year from Luca is what we're going to see for the next like 10, 12 years,
Yeah,
hopefully, from him. He
yeah.
should be the MVP favorite going to next year, like we've said before. So
Hmm.
he definitely could be top five, like you said, very, very, very soon.
And near triple double with 9 rebounds, 9 assists, and what 28 points. It was crazy. This is a historic season, and due to due to another player that's also on this list, James Harden, those stats that we're seeing, these historic stats, are kind of being
Mm,
like pushed over. But man, not a lot of people did what Luka
that's a good point.
Doncic did. And someone that we both don't have on this list 100%, Trey Young, he also had a crazy statistical season, which, man, in
Yeah,
like 5, 6 years ago, that season alone would have made him a top 10 player.
you're right. Like these stats were kind of James Harden, like you said, mainly him.
Yeah,
These are just kind of getting watered down for us, and like we definitely do not appreciate them as much as we should. It's hard to average 28 points a game, and
yeah.
like how many people in the world have in history have ever averaged 20
And
points a game? It's not a lot.
9 assists. Like
Yeah,
it's like they're
insane.
playmaking and scoring a lot. Like point guards never really had this much either playmaking, like scorers never had this much playmaking. We never seen LeBron. We've seen LeBron, but we never seen Michael
Hmm.
Jordan or a Kobe Bryant ever average this much assists. And we've
Yeah,
never seen a Magic Johnson or a John Stockton ever score this much.
yeah.
So yeah, these guys, they're doing a lot. They're doing a lot for their teams.
Who was the last? Who's the last player to be a consensus top 10 player after their second year in the league?
I think probably LeBron. He'd probably be like
Probably
10th.
LeBron, right?
Yeah,
It's been 17,
17 years.
17, 18 years,
Yeah,
16, 17 years. That's how historic the numbers are, and not just the numbers, obviously the production. Because I mean, I think this is going back a couple of months now, but we both predicted the Mavs to get swept by the Clippers in the
yeah,
first round. Now maybe some of that's on the Clippers because they ended up being frauds, but
yeah,
they pushed them to six, very
mhm,
competitive series, and
yeah.
it was down the stretch, clutch time, Luca every single time, and we like those are going to be on his highlight reel pretty much probably for his whole career. Some of those shots he made.
Yeah, and people, this Mavericks team might also be a dynasty because with that incredible free agency class coming soon, Luka Doncic on his rookie deal, so you could get another max player, and then you can max out Luka Doncic later, and you know Mark Cuban always loves playing that extra tax. He doesn't care about it. He'll pay that tax.
Yeah.
So like we can honestly see a huge big three with the Mavericks and them being a dominant team similar to I like to call them the updated version of Kobe and Shaq
Mm.
because they both could shoot so well and they don't touch the paint at all. So yeah, they could be the updated version of Kobe and Shaq with another superstar, which would be insane.
That'd be insane.
Man, it's gonna be tough for anyone besides Luka Doncic to win MVP
Yeah,
just
I
because
think
of
so.
how much he's going to have to do. And Luka Doncic might honestly make a case for the top echelon of this list too. Because
Really. He
if
he
he wins a
could there's a
championship,
there's a world where he surpasses Giannis this
yeah.
season. There is. There is.
Because man, those Mav teams kind of look like they could compete for a championship.
Yeah.
And if they win a championship and he gets MVP, oh, it's gonna be tough.
Like if Giannis, gets exposed again, if Kawhi doesn't, get
Live up,
past, let's say Doncic beats Kawhi in the second round this time,
yeah,
right? Like, is he better than both those guys? I don't know. Like, yeah, this could change a lot going into next year.
yeah.
Thanks for watching. Listen to the Stretch the Floor podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and follow us on Instagram.